Hi and welcome to Volusia Magazine. With above average hurricane activity projected by forecasters this year, how do you know you'll be ready when hurricane season officially begins June 1st? And many hands make light work, which was the case this year at the annual St. Johns River cleanup held recently. Then we'll find out what numbers mean when we take a look at passenger traffic statistics from Daytona Beach International Airport. The numbers are looking up as passenger traffic takes an upswing. Those stories, special reports, and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. I'm your host, Amber Patterson, and I hope you stay tuned. In the past 10 years, Volusia County has been affected by 4 hurricanes, 3 tropical storms, and 4 major tornadoes and several heavy rainstorms that produced severe regional flooding. Forecasters are predicting above average hurricane activity this year. Hurricane season starts June 1st. Are you ready?
There's quite a few things that you should have in your disaster supply kit, and the way to approach it is pretty simple. You just have to think about what it is that you need to sustain yourself and your family for 3 days minimum, and then 5 to 7 days for a particularly bad disaster or emergency situation. And that would include your food, your water, and in addition to that, medication. Another really important item to have in kind of an all-hazard scenario, which would include, of course, hurricanes, is some cash on hand in case you can't get to an ATM and you need to have that cash available to make some transactions to purchase things.
For a list of other items you should include on your disaster supply kit, you can visit volusia.org/emergency. It's a good idea to decide now where you'll stay if an evacuation order is issued. You will be more comfortable staying with family or friends or in a hotel away from the storm. For those who have no alternative, Volusia County will set up hurricane shelters at key locations across the county. But shelters should be the last resort option. One of the most important things you can do to protect your home and family before a flood is to purchase a federal flood insurance policy. Flood damage is not covered under homeowner insurance policies. Homeowners are strongly encouraged to purchase a separate flood policy.
Flood insurance is critical to us if not only you have a hurricane or tropical storm wind field, but you're also talking about a lot of rainfall, and Volusia County is no stranger to flooding. So you want to go ahead and look at purchasing that flood insurance. If a hurricane is within 500 miles of the peninsula of Florida, they're not going to issue a policy.
To learn about flood insurance, you can visit floodsmart.gov. The website can help you rate your risk, estimate premiums, and find an agent. In the event of an impending hurricane or other emergency, Volusia County will activate its Emergency Operations Center. For help creating a personalized family disaster plan, you can visit floridadisaster.org. If you would like to receive emergency telephone or email notifications or follow our social media feeds from Volusia County's Emergency Management Division, you can visit volusia.org/emergency. Then click on the Get Connected button on the left menu. Traffic at Daytona Beach International Airport is back on the upswing. The numbers for March are in, and passenger traffic at the county-run airport increased 1% compared with March of 2012. During March, 61,062 passengers traveled through the airport compared with 60,406 passengers in March of 2012. For the 12 months ending March 31st, the airport passenger traffic increased 3% over the 12-month period.
There was a 1% increase in passenger traffic in March of 2013 over March of 2012, even though we had a decrease in the number of seats available for passengers to purchase. The load factor, which means the number of seats purchased on each aircraft, actually had an increase in March as well. And what that indicates is an increase in the demand for service in and out of Daytona Beach International Airport. One of the contributing factors is expected to be the fuel prices. Fuel has had a decreasing trend, which normally results in more competitive fares.
For more information about flights in and out of Daytona Beach International Airport, you can visit flydaytonafirst.com. The 17th annual St. Johns River Cleanup, hosted recently by Volusia County's Environmental Division, was another big success. Some 500 participants removed 4 tons of debris as they cleaned 59 miles of the St. Johns River. Items recovered included beverage bottles and cans, clothing, fishing nets, ropes, and tires.
But yeah, some of the more unusual items was we found a jet ski, and we had a teapot, and this was no ordinary teapot. It was an antique teapot that was probably from the hotel at De Leon Springs from the 1920s or so.
Volunteers included boaters, scouts, civic organizations, environmental groups, businesses, and individuals.
Now, there's a few reasons why it's important to have the cleanup on an annual basis. Number one, it cleans up the river for all of us to enjoy. Get the trash out of it. It's just a better looking river, a better boating and paddling river, better fishing river. You're not snagging yourself on a bunch of trash. And also for the wildlife too. We pull trash out of the river that can entangle wildlife and kill them or injure and maim them, and certainly we don't want that. So to have the cleanup on an annual basis is a good deal for both humankind and animal kind alike.
The St. Johns River is one of Florida's most scenic water bodies and is the only river in the state with a federal American Heritage River designation. The St. Johns River Cleanup is hosted by Volusia County Environmental Management in partnership with Daytona Beverages, the Florida Inland Navigation District, Republic Waste Services, Waste Pro, Volusia County Stormwater Utilities, and Keep Volusia County Beautiful.
Hello, I'm Joshua Wagner, Volusia County Council, District 2. Need some inexpensive family fun? The Volusia County's Marine Science Center is a great resource for learning about our local wildlife and native environment. And it's right here in Ponce Inlet. You can see many species of fish and turtles on display or explore marine life in field trips and lab activities. You'll see what it takes to rehabilitate sick or injured sea turtles and shorebirds. It takes more than cough medicine. Get up close and personal with a lionfish. Well, not too close. Or a pelican, or a horseshoe crab. We don't recommend playing horseshoes with these little guys, or a hawk. You can even go on an expedition with an expert birding naturalist. For more information, visit marinesciencecenter.com.
Whether you're looking for a place to walk your dog, ride your horse, or go for a jog in the great outdoors, Volusia County has an extensive trail system that caters to a wide variety of people. Here and Now reporter Joanne Magley has more in this week's Volusia Here and Now report.
Trails are important community amenities that not only improve the quality of life, but help spur economic development. And Volusia County has miles and miles of trails. The newest addition to the trail system is a 5.7-mile stretch on the East Central Regional Rail Trail. The trail is being constructed along the longest abandoned rail line ever purchased in Florida. Jim Wood, Chief of Florida's Office of Greenways and Trails, says this trail is huge for Central Florida.
It's the longest rail trail acquisition in the state's history. And as it's completed over the next several years heading towards the coast, it will help to complete not only this project, but portions of the Florida East Coast Greenway and the St. Johns River to Sea Loop and trail system that includes a lot of the Central Florida counties, all the way up to St. Johns and on over to Osceola County.
Volusia County Councilwoman Pat Northey, who represents District 5, is a longtime proponent of the trails system and says this project is a great example of the importance of partnerships.
Projects like this happen when you have partnerships, and we've got a great one on this project, beginning with Brevard County, Commissioner Truman Scarborough, who is now retired, and myself, working together with the Regional Planning Council. We took the project to the state, and the state purchased the alignment, the actual rail bed itself, with the understanding that the county of Brevard and the county of Volusia would build and maintain the alignment and maintain the park. It's a linear park, and so that's what we did. This is the first 6 miles of that partnership, and it was great to have that, and that's what makes it happen. That's how you get things done, when you have partnerships with other organizations and agencies.
When complete, the rail trail will cover 50 miles, stretching from Enterprise to Edgewater, with a 10-mile leg through Brevard County to Titusville. In addition to paved trails like the rail trail, there are 47 miles of beach and more than 80 miles of trails through Volusia County conservation lands. Bonnie Carey, Outreach Coordinator with Volusia County Land Management, says trails on conservation lands showcase the real Florida.
Our trails, as I said, are primitive, so you're getting a slice, an avenue into the natural world. You may come upon different wildlife. The conditions may be different. Here at Longleaf Pine Preserve, this is pine flatwoods, and in rainy season, you might come upon wet conditions on the trail. The trail may be underwater, but that's a part of natural Florida, and it's good to experience that.
Tim Bailey, Director of Volusia County's Park, Recreation, and Culture Division, says Volusia County has a trail to please just about everyone.
Volusia County has a pretty good trail system. We'll call it our Showcase Trail. It's a 12-foot wide paved path. There's 2 segments to it. There's a Spring to Spring Trail, which starts up towards the Leon Springs area and goes down in through Glenwood, down in through Orange City, down towards Gemini Springs and Lake Monroe, and then over towards Daytona, right at Providence. And I'm encouraging everyone to get out there and use the trails. They're beautiful, they're well maintained, a lot of activity on them. It'll make you feel great traveling with your family and your children driving along the trails. It's a great experience. Get out and enjoy nature.
Volusia County's trails system also includes the 6-mile North Peninsula Trail in Ormond by the Sea, the 3.5-mile Ponce Inlet Trail, and 5 segments of the popular Spring to Spring Trail, which when complete will stretch 26 miles from Green Springs Park to De Leon Springs Park. So lace up your sneakers, pump up your tires, or saddle up your horse. Whatever type of trail you're looking for, you'll find it in Volusia County. For Volusia Here and Now, I'm Joanne Magley.
For more information, go to volusia.org/trails. Now let's join health reporter Stephanie Strong for this message from the Volusia County Health Department.
Teeth are very important for eating and talking and the way you look. Baby teeth help children speak clearly and chew food, and they serve as space keepers for the permanent teeth. Oral health is important.
Good oral health is very important, especially for children, for their well-being. Interestingly, tooth decay is an infection. It's the most common infection in this country. And tooth decay results in pain, which can result in difficulty speaking, difficulty eating, difficulty focusing and learning at school. So oral health is extremely important for children's well-being.
Tooth decay affects children in the United States more than any other chronic infectious disease. Untreated tooth decay causes pain and infections that may lead to problems such as eating, speaking, playing, and learning. Tooth decay is caused by bacteria or germs found in plaque. Plaque is a film or coating which contains bacteria that forms on your teeth and gums.
Then we talk about baby teeth as well, which is what you're losing now.
You can prevent tooth decay and gum disease by brushing your teeth twice a day, flossing once a day, limiting the amount of sugar you eat and drink, and getting your teeth cleaned at least once a year. Here are some nutrition tips for a healthy smile.
Some of the nutrition tips for a healthy smile are to breastfeed your baby. Don't put juice, soda, or any sweetened drinks in baby's bottle. Drink water or low-fat milk instead of soda or other sugar-type beverages, and avoid foods high in sugar and food that stick to your teeth.
Baby bottle tooth decay can happen to a child's teeth over time if not properly cared for. For more information, you may visit www.volusiahealth.com. For Volusia Magazine and on behalf of the Volusia County Health Department, your guide to better health, I'm Public Information Officer Stephanie Strong.
If you have any questions about this or any other health-related issues, you can always log on to volusiahealth.com. It's time to turn the cameras to the studio now to join Community Information Director Dave Byron and his guest, Habitat Conservation Plan Manager for Volusia County, Jennifer Winters. They'll be discussing turtle nesting season.
Well, thanks, Amber, and hi, everyone. The 2013 turtle nesting season for Volusia County beaches begins May 1st. This 5-month observation of turtle nesting habits is closely watched by Volusia County and, in particular, key staff of the Environmental Management Division. Jennifer Winters, our Habitat Conservation Plan Manager, is with us today to discuss what we can expect this turtle season and how residents and visitors can help facilitate the successful nesting of these and other coastal animals. Jennifer, thank you for being with us. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me back.
Hey, we talk about this before every turtle nesting season. For those folks that may be new to the area, may not know what nesting season is, tell us about it. Why is it important?
Well, it's our summertime season when the sea turtles will start emerging from the ocean to lay their nests on our beaches every night. Beginning in May, running through October, we'll have sea turtles using our beaches out there.
And they are, if I'm not mistaken, an endangered and federally protected species. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. We have 3 species that nest here mainly, and they're all protected as either endangered or threatened.
What type of sea turtles are we likely to see along our beaches, Jennifer?
Most commonly we have loggerhead sea turtles. They nest here in the hundreds. An average year we have close to 500 loggerhead sea turtle nests.
And those can be pretty big guys.
Oh yeah, they're good sized animals, and it takes a lot of energy for them to pull themselves out of the water to lay their eggs in the sand. So, you know, we try to educate people that if they do observe a turtle nesting, to keep their distance and remain quiet.
So what does you and your staff do prior to the start of nesting season? What does that mean for you?
Well, for my staff, it means that we start to get supplies ready. Every single one of our sea turtle nests are marked, clearly marked with 4 stakes and ribbons and signs, so that we keep people from walking over the nest location. So we're gathering supplies and getting things distributed. We have volunteers that use vehicles to cover monitoring 36 miles of beach. So you can imagine we have a lot of vehicles and equipment to prepare.
For the residents and visitors, what does it mean for them?
Well, for residents and visitors, it's an exciting time. They may encounter a sea turtle at the beach at night. We definitely don't encourage people to go looking for sea turtles, but they will see nests clearly marked along our beaches, and occasionally they might see the nest start hatching later in the summer, and between July and September. So it's important that people be vigilant of the nest locations. Another thing that's important is to minimize lighting on the beach, because that can be disruptive to sea turtles. Both those that are trying to nest, and as nests are emerging, the lights are distractive and can lead them in directions other than the ocean.
Let's talk about that for a second, because I think what you're referring to is the county's night lighting ordinance, which, correct me if I misstate this, but applies the entire coastline of Volusia County beaches, whether you're in a city or in an unincorporated Volusia County area. And basically what it means is that you can't have a light source shine onto the beach or be seen if you're on the beach. Is that accurate?
Yes, that's correct. And this type of ordinance is typical throughout the state of Florida. We're one of the main places in the world where we have this many sea turtles coming in to nest. So the main thing is to just minimize the lighting that's visible from the beach. And that does include the use of flashlights and lanterns as well. If it's especially a full moon night, you may not need an extra light out there. But if you are using lights on the beach, it's less disruptive for sea turtles if you use a red, amber, LED, a long wavelength light is less visible to sea turtles.
And why is this light thing important to the sea turtles? I mean, you've talked to me in the past about the term disoriented. And for folks that are not educated on this like you are, give us a simple description of why it has to be dark.
Well, the sea turtles, it's important for them to have darkness because the lights actually cause two problems. For nesting female turtles, as they're emerging from the ocean, they are deterred from using areas with a lot of lighting. And typically they look for a quiet, dark location to lay their eggs.
Right.
But then later, as the eggs start hatching, the hatchlings are actually attracted to a short wavelength artificial light, which is typically what we see with a floodlight or an outside white type of light.
Right.
So the hatchlings will head in the direction of that light, which is usually opposite from where the water is. And sometimes we have turtles end up in roadways and storm drains, and again, going back to the fact that these animals are threatened and endangered, there's very limited numbers of them worldwide, so it's important that we keep our beaches a little bit darker during the nesting season.
Is it safe to say that in the scheme of Mother Nature, the natural moonlight would light the ocean, and that's basically the attracting light that you would want these hatchlings to follow?
Right, correct. And regardless of where the moon is in the sky, typically the reflection of the moonlight over the ocean would be the brightest horizon.
There you go.
That's in a natural setting, in a natural environment. But with development, we've got a lot of artificial lighting, which does include sky glow. Even those lights that are not directly visible from the beach, cumulatively, that western horizon may appear brighter than the ocean horizon.
Jennifer, the county has, I think, an approved habitat conservation plan that has been approved by the federal government, and that plan is pretty significant to the way the county overall manages and protects the endangered species along the beach. Tell us about the plan.
Well, the Habitat Conservation Plan, it's really involved. There's a lot of components to it, and it does ensure that our sea turtles that come to nest here will be protected. We do have beach driving, and that's another one of the reasons that we mark a barrier around each nest location. And all of those nests are marked early in the morning before we open the beach to public driving. In addition to that, one of the components of our plan is to have our Marine Science Center. And all of the rehabilitation work that they do on sea turtles there acts as mitigation for any sort of harm that may be happening on the driving beaches.
Right. But no driving at night on the beach, though.
Nope, no driving at night on the beach, not by the general public. We do have, emergency vehicle access allowance, and on occasion that happens. But for the most part, nope, our beaches are nice and quiet and free of vehicles at night.
And I know that that you and your staff members, you do a pretty darn good job of monitoring the compliance with the night lighting ordinance to make sure that all of the beachfront properties, the hotels and so forth, are in compliance with the night lighting provisions. From what I've learned from you over the years, this ordinance has been around for a while now, and you probably don't have that many problems with people coming into compliance these days, do you?
No, for the most part, people understand the ordinance and they want to, protect our sea turtles, and so that's a good thing. I think the biggest challenge is educating our transient visitors who are coming in for short periods of time. Interior lighting is becoming one of the things that we're noticing more often on properties that have multiple individual units.
I see.
With people who are there just for a short period of time and really don't know about the sea turtle.
So what happens if there are violations of the night lighting ordinance? So how does that work?
Well, what we do is if we observe a violation, we try to notify the property owners and work with them through education as the first thing. We can, take them through our code enforcement process if necessary, and ultimately they could be fined for the violations if they continue, and particularly if they do cause disorientations to sea turtles in the vicinity.
And so you're really asking people to do the right thing, to have the good environmental conscience, and to voluntarily comply. And so you're not out there looking to heavy-handed enforcement. It's really to try to educate people and to get them to voluntarily comply?
Yes, that's correct. And again, over the years, technology has advanced, and we have a lot more information that we can share with people to educate them on how to safely light their property.
Yeah, I want to touch on that for a second, because I know you and your staff work with lighting vendors and that sort of thing, and you have lots of information if there are beachfront property owners out there that want to know what lights are appropriate and how that you can get lights that can properly provide the lighting for night safety but yet not shine on the beach. You're certainly able to help beachfront property owners.
Yes, we are. My office is full of resources. Our website at volusiaseaturtles.org. We have a whole section on lighting, which does include links to other some of those vendors we mentioned, and then you know, a whole page of just different links and resources for them to start looking at.
Well, as we close today, I think the story was pretty good last year in terms of the number of nests that you had on Volusia County beaches. You had a busy year last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, we had our biggest year ever. So we were overworked and shocked with the, you know, the amount of sea turtle nesting that we had. So it was really amazing.
What was the number?
Our total count was 919 nests.
Wow.
Back to our average of around 480 nests. It was, you know, almost double.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's the reason for that, Jennifer? You have any thoughts on that?
Well, sure. There's a lot of there's a lot of speculation on to what is happening, but you know, one of the main things for me that I think of is that the Endangered Species Act came into effect almost 30 years ago, and that's about the same amount of time that it takes a sea turtle to reach sexual maturity.
Really?
So some of those things that were enacted 30 years ago may be coming to fruition and you know, paying off.
I had not heard it phrased that way. That's an interesting way to look at it. So anyways, whatever the reason is, good news last year in terms of the number of nests. So let's just hope that this year is equally as well. For people out there that may want to get more information, how do they do that?
Again, our website is volusiaseaturtles.org. And you know, all of our contact information for the office phone numbers is there, and a lot of resources, you know, that link to other websites as well is there. And
let's repeat, nesting season starts May 1st.
May 1st.
And ends when?
October 31st.
Well, Jennifer, I want to thank you for sharing the information with us. You and your staff do good work over there. You have the unfortunate pleasure of working on the beach, huh?
Yep.
Every day at your office.
Well, somebody's got to do it.
Our guest today, Jennifer Winters. She's with the county's Environmental Management Division and out there working with sea turtle rehabilitation and compliance. So Jennifer, again, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
And with that, Amber, we'll go back to you.
Thanks, Dave, and thank you for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about our program, just give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org. You can also watch the show online. Just go to volusia.org and click on the News tab to find us. And did you know you can view the County Council meeting calendar there too? You'll find out about meeting dates, activities, special events, topics of interest, and how you can participate. Here's one. If you'd like to learn what your e-reader can do for you, you can stop by the Daytona Beach Regional Library at City Island for a free introductory class at 10 a.m. on Tuesday, May 14th. For more information, you can call 386-257-6036, extension 16154. And last but not least, we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today, Volusia County Government's public information radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Patterson. We'll see you next week.